All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the New Media Writing Prize Awards evening for 2026, where we award the prizes for 2025, kind of like the Oscars. So we are closing up 2 days of the Associated New Media Writing Prize Unconference. So we have both our shortlisted entries here, creators here, general entrants to the prize here, as well as attendees, participants, and contributors to the Unconference, which we hold every year. So if you're not already on our mailing list and you want to have news about those sorts of things, please add yourself to our mailing list, which you can do through our website. So I am going to jump right in because I realize that sitting in front of a Zoom after many people have probably sat in front of Zooms all day is possibly not something you want to do with your evenings. But I am going to make a meal out of it. Hopefully what you are seeing is just the New Media Writing Prize Awards evening title slide. Jim, if you can nod for me if that's what you're seeing. Great. Excellent. Thank you so much. So this is, as I said, the 2025 awards that are happening today for the annual New Media Writing Prize. As I said, we're in our 16th year, which is beyond exciting. And thanks to the history of this, it has not always been me. It's previously, if we can all mute ourselves. Hold on, let me find who is
I
not
know they hear anything.
mute them. Okay, I have the power. Excellent. So apologies for that. And so Looking at our history of the New Media Writing Prize, this prize was launched back in 2010 by the illustrious James Pope et al. So we want to thank James and Jim and Chris Meade and all the others who have contributed to the New Media Writing Prize over the years, including our everyone who's ever entered the prize, everyone who's ever sponsored a prize, our wonderful judges, and our unconferencers who, by their participation and registration in the unconference, also support the prize because everything that the New Media Writing Prize does contributes to prizes being awarded. None of it goes to me, none of it goes to anyone other than costs for the New Media Writing Prize and the prizes themselves. We are beyond proud to be an international prize. The works, it is an English language prize, but we get works from all over the world. Um, this year, no one from South America, so we need to expand our reach there a little bit, maybe. But you can see where we get entries from, and the full interactive map you can find on that small link there, the bit.ly link. It's just a good overview of the entries, where people come from, and beyond pleased that we have such a strong international representation here, that electronic literature and new media writing is becoming so popular and known and practiced around the world, and that the prize is recognized for the contribution that it makes to the creative practice. So we encourage everyone to submit. There's room for everyone if you're creating interactive narrative, and we love seeing them every year. We want to thank our judges and our unconference non-committee and our sponsors. As you can see, we have a great number of judges here. Our main judges are Jim Pope, Andy Campbell, Linda Clark, Lisa G, Mez Breeze. They are recurring judges and who lovingly volunteer their time and energy because they love this work so much to judging most of the categories. And we do invite our previous year's winners when we can to judge as well in the year following their wins. So this year we had previous year's winners Stanley Baxton, Cecil Wilde, and Abdul Wajid uh, throwing their hats into the ring to judge the entries. And we also had a new category. We have a new category this year of our Indian new media writing uh, prize. And our judges who contributed there are Samya Brata Roy and S. Anas Ahmad. So welcome to all our judges. Thank you so much for donating your time and energy and expertise and thoughts about our works and for awarding the prizes. Our Unconference non-committee, as usual, is me, as well as Dina Larson and Ken Alba. We've sort of started this unconference together, and we just keep rolling through every year and having a great time doing creative workshops, seeing new works, playing with new tools, new creativity tools. We saw a number of new creativity tools this year, and thinking about critical topics around electronic literature, new media, new media writing, digital fiction, electronic poetry, all this wonderful stuff. Um, okay, so I'm seeing some questions about being able to hear. Am I not coming through?
I can hear you okay. I think
Okay,
it's Maria that can't.
okay, okay. Yeah, let me see, Maria. You had unmuted yourself for a second, and I had to, let's see. I'm not sure what's happening. Are we back? Okay. I'm going to keep going and let maybe you all in the chat help Maria there with the sound. Okay. This is my fault for always monitoring chat when I'm doing things. Okay, great. And then, of course, our sponsors, the British Library, which helps us out and normally, when they haven't had a cyber attack, archive our winners and shortlisted entries in their digital collections. They are recovering from a cyber attack and don't have all of their digital collections back up yet, but we have been assured that such things will happen. Dreaming Methods and One-to-One Development Trust, who contribute judging, as well as the wonderful website support and across all of the New Media Writing Prize website. It's a fantastic site and resource of the archives of our previous winners. Writing Magazine, which sponsors our student prize, Chris Meade from If Book, who sponsors the main prize in memoriam. Dina Larson, who contributes to our sponsorship, as well as Wonderbox Digital, that sponsors the Opening Up prize. All right. So this year, instead of a keynote, which I have called not a keynote at all, because no one wants to hear me talk at you even more, although that's what I'm going to do, is we are going to do a little bit of a retrospective into New Media Writing Prizes history. We're going to have a stroll through the archive and have a look at sort of where we started and so let me share this, where the prize has come to. So this is the New Media Writing Prize website and the archive, and you can see here that we keep going for all of these years. So the prize in 2010, this is the short list, and it really was just the main prize in that first year. And this is how our archive works at the moment. And there are various additions and changes that happen over the years, but for the most part, this is what we'll see in the archive. And these were the first entrants and winners, shortlisted winners. And I think that it's really great to be able to look back and see the works and some of the folks who submitted work, because some of these people still submit work still show up on our short list. They show up on um, syllabus and syllabi for university courses. We'll see them again in the electronic literature collection, the prizes from the electronic literature organization. We see them just this, it really shows us how um, the longevity of the prize and longevity of the artists who submit. So and you even see some names that may be more familiar from a more literary scene these days. Naomi Alderman, who wrote The Power, amongst her subsequent novels that has now been adapted into a TV series, and who got her start actually really working in interactive media with Run Zombies Run. Jim Andrews, Emily Hollingsworth, Alan Bigelow, we'll see these names, Catherine Norman, Christine Wilkes, certainly as the first of our New Media Prize winners. So do keep your eyes peeled for these common themes and names that crop up. Now, the further back we go in the archive, the less likely that we are to be able to access the works. And Underbelly is a beautiful, wonderful work, but unfortunately, it was built in Flash. So this is one of the field's cautionary tales about proprietary software. I always tell my students, whenever you can, work in non-proprietary softwares, work in common languages and platforms like HTML, JavaScript, these sorts of things that are open source, more readily available and persistent. The Because as we saw with Adobe Flash, which was originally Macromedia Flash, once a big platform decides to stop using something, to stop supporting something, or you get in platform wars, as what happened with Adobe Flash and Apple. Apple decided not to support Flash anymore, and so it just died a terrible death, even though it was a wonderful platform for artistic creation. So we have a recording from Christine Wilkes, who is the original author of this work, so that you can at least see a traversal of this work on their website, and sort of walk through the work, see what it was like. This particular work was focused on miners. As you may know, the UK mining industry is kind of a big deal. And in particular, we're
Carving
looking
is a
at women
reductive process.
and their
You start
stories.
with a solid block, and using your tools, you cut away material to reveal the finished form.
So the work allowed you to explore this virtual map and these spaces that you see here, and be able to find these little icons. You can see the femininity of the visual imagery. And this is, I just love coming back to this work as the first winner of the New Media Writing Prize, because I think it still exemplifies some of the beauty of storytelling, culture, history, as well as the multimedia and exploratory format that New Media Writing Prize is really works to highlight and emphasize. So let me make sure that I can get out. There we go, without closing everything. So obviously this video is 17 minutes long.
Carving is a reproductive.
So if you want to see that, you can go to see it on her site. Our link from the archive is no longer quite so accurate, because she moved it, but it is here on her website via a web search. Looking forward to 2011. Again, we see some familiar names here. Caitlin Fisher, Alan Bigelow again. Uh, I love this typo for Aaron Reed, if any of you are fans of Key and Peele. Aaron Meade is and he was a student then. He's produced some wonderful works over the years, and so it's wonderful to see his history coming back in the prize here as well. And in particular, the winners this year were Five Hades from Simon Kerr. For the student, this was the first year of the student category, and we have persistently tried to support that category, recognizing that not everyone is a professional artist, their first work out of the gate. That students are working around the world in different classes, in different universities, in different cultures with different storytelling um, traditions, and they're producing some really great stuff in these courses, and we want to make sure that we can highlight that. And then the main prize entry winner that year was Serge Bouchardon's Loss of Grasp, which is like Underbelly, has become a very well-known, respected work in the electronic literature canon, as it were. I don't love that there's a canon for anything. I have ethical problems with canons and maintaining class structures, et cetera, et cetera. But we do return to Loss of Grasp in teaching and in academic circles and critical reviews, because it is a very good work. This digital creation, and Serge is known for very tactile, very gestural based works, and also working with teams in many languages. So his work and the teams that he works with often produce works that are translated and work in multiple languages. Yes, my computer sound is on, so you'll get a bit of sound here. I didn't want to deny any
Welcome.
sounds.
Press the hash key.
Maybe.
Congratulations.
There we go. So this is a theme that we see a lot in new media writing, this internal dialogue, this internal feeling, memory, mental illness, anxiety, this disassociation and association, because the medium works so well that way. If we think about the way the web works, and we work through links as opposed to linear page turns, that sort of thing. And so this is a common theme, this loss of grasp, or this, where is my brain going? Where is my life going? And you can see that as you interact with the work, there are different interactive elements. And so this is a lovely bit of how digital can react to gestures in the haptic interface, and be part of the meaning of a work. So I'll stop with loss of grasp here, and move on to Five Hades. I'm not certain that I don't think we still have a link to the actual work, but maybe, let's see. Individual sites, not seeing it. This was a student work, which is what happens with student work a lot, is that they tend to be ephemeral, because they're doing them for assessments, and maybe and at this time we didn't have sites like itch.io, which was a more permanent structure. We do have things like the ifdb.org, which is a wonderful catalog of interactive fiction. But a lot of times students use sort of temporary websites and things like that because they're not certain about them, or they're just starting out, or it's not part of the portfolio that they end up really working with as professionals. So sometimes they don't maintain their presence online, and I think this one was Flash as well, so it would have been deprecated along with Underbelly. In 2012, we're back to, it looks like we did not have a sponsor perhaps for the student prize this year. So again, I did mention that we're going to see some names over again, and some familiar names repeatedly. So this year in 2012, let's see, did we? Yes. So Catherine Norman produced Window again as an interactive sound essay, and we see a number of these. I as an artist, I'm terrible with sound, so it's a good thing that I produce a lot of my work on EPUB and or for kids in classrooms where I know that they can't have any audio. So it's always really beautiful to me to see works that incorporate sound because it's a language that, as a creative writer, I don't work much in, but sound has such an immediate intimacy that we do get a lot of these works. Hopefully, it will give us a little bit here. And this is a traversal of the work. Let's see if I can make this. Here we go. Let's turn the sound down a little bit here. So it may be that this work was also Flash, as you can see from the interactivity. This sort of interactivity is common with Flash, but also can be reproduced with JavaScript, although Flash was quite popular at this time. And the interactivity is strong here. The soundscape is adjusting to the movement of these little counting how many sides that one, two, three, four, five, seven, seven-sided polygons around the I would imagine that's a septagon. Septagon? Or am I using the wrong language? Anyway, this you can sort of explore through the space as well as the sound and what's happening, and you can see the imagery changing and fading and moving through. Um, just a beautiful piece. Let's see. Let's see. It was an app, it seems. And as we know with apps, again, um, once apps cease to be updated, even if they don't need updating to work, in particular, the Apple Store will remove the app from their store. The Android store is placed, the Google Play Store is a little bit freer with apps staying on, even if they're not quite working for all models, because there's so many more models of Android phone. But Apple apps tend to deprecate pretty quickly unless you have the wherewithal to maintain them. So this is another little lesson about obsolescence and sustainability is thinking about what you're going to have to do in the future to keep your work alive if you want it to be so. In 2013, we come back to our student winners as well. And we had two winners this year. So we have a student winner and a main prize winner. I always love looking at these and seeing the wide variety, and soon the archive will start to show the countries that people are from. But you can see from names that we have teams, we have repeated people, we have men, we have women, we have students, we have professionals, we have people from all over the world, and that's a really exciting element to me. Now, neither of these works persists. They don't just turn up online anymore, but so this is some that have been perhaps lost or perhaps just aren't quite updated with the current version of the modern web. But we do try to, and that's something that I'm going to try to work on in the future, is whether we can recapture some of these, maybe from the British Library archive when it comes back online, and perhaps other bits and bobs around the web of perhaps videos and traversals and playthroughs like we see on Underbelly and The Last Piece. So in 2014, we move forward and we still have our student entry, our student category, which Herm Holland won with A Dream Within a Dream. We also have, you can see there's a category now for People's Choice Award. So this was something that was introduced to allow the public to vote on their favorites. So it's not just a judged entry, which carries with it, the typical connotations of, who likes what and it's judgment and it's subjective and it opens it up to voting because the New Media Writing Prize is about more people being exposed to and enjoying and getting engaged in new media writing and electronic literature and interactive narrative, which are all kind of the same thing. We're not great with nomenclature. We like to, if why have one term when you can have 15? So what we want is for everyone to be able to participate, for everyone to know what these kind of works are and what they do and the power of them, and for everyone to be able to create and read them and experience them and interact with them. And that's the main goal of the prize, is to expand that beyond simply the academic, beyond the literary contest thing. And so having a People's Choice Award has been a goal, when we have sponsors for it, because we want more people to come and play and feel like they have a voice in these sorts of works. The main prize winner from that year was Tender Claws Pry, which and we see Amira Hanafi here entering into the prize. So again, our frequent names, I love seeing them and how persistent and consistent they are through the years. Alan, Jason, um, just so wonderful. It feels like you start to make friends with people's names and the creators over the years. So Pry won this year. I don't think I do have a dream. I thought I had a dream with them. Let me see. Maybe I closed it. Let's see if that will open. Oh, it's on generator. So maybe it doesn't persist. Um, yeah. So it didn't persist. But Pry, which was an app, I think is still an app. I don't know if they maintain it, but Tender Claws is still producing work, so I think they might be one of the few producers that has the wherewithal to maintain the work that they create for apps. But this was a big winner in this year. It sort of made a splash not only in new media writing and elit spheres, but in the wider world. This was a big time for book apps. Lots of publishers were getting into book apps and putting things on the iPad, that sort of thing. And this really was a wonderful piece that showed a lot of what you could do when you weren't simply on an e-ink screen like a Kindle, like the Kindles used to be, and you actually worked with a touch tablet, so you can see how the text could be manipulated and expanded and revealed, and multimedia could be like video and movie and image could be introduced through the interactivity. So I did want to focus a little bit on the app instead of the film aspects. So yeah, and Jim says it's still available, so it is still maintained. And it's a really well produced piece. And so I recommend it if you have the wherewithal, such as an iPad or I'm not sure it works as well. It will be an iPhone app, but it is really fantastic, as you can see from the screenshots. And I think there's plenty of playthroughs on YouTube of this work. Moving forward, again, we have our student category and our main prize category. And I think both of these, yes, still persist. So Sean Hickman's Kindred, which you can see is on a basic Wix site. So for any of you who are out there thinking, oh, I have to pay for my own website, I have to, do all the things to run a website, you don't necessarily have to. Lots of students now, lots of game developers now, lots of professionals either have a site like this with a portfolio or they post up on itch.io or something like that, which will allow you to host things for free and even private. So please make use of those spaces instead of, a fly-by-night something that is going to fold, where you're going to lose your work. So Kindred is, and this is, yeah, so we see some video use, some multimedia, interactivity, hyperlink. This is really well done student work, and well done work for anyone really. So I recommend, since it is available, to go through the archive and have a play of this winner from this year. Hi Muck Muck, playing Chinese, was the main prize winner that year. And so this was a collaboratively created website. And again, we're thinking about the culture and the literature and the writing and the story, back to Underbelly and how much it combined those sorts of elements. But and so this does a similar thing, looking at Chinese immigrants and Chinese immigration to Canada. And so there's this mix of cultures, but it's primarily on the people and the way they felt and the signs and symbols and stories of their movement, trying to maintain a culture while moving to a completely foreign place. And the interactivity, this is where HTML, the use of HTML, JavaScript, and CSS can be just as beautiful and well done as Flash. So if you look at these old Flash pieces and you go, oh, it's too bad Flash is gone because we can't do anything that beautiful anymore, look at Hi Muck Muck and you will see that certainly you can do these things. I have a piece that I tried to do something like this. It is not nearly as beautifully done as this one is, so highly recommend. In 2016, we see the introduction of our journalism prize. And journalism is an area where some interactive elements have become kind of the norm. And so at the time, we were really embracing that, thinking about how much more effective news and feature pieces can be. A lot of these are long form pieces when interactivity is integrated into them. We now think of some of these longer pieces in the forms of like iDocumentaries, where you have an interactive website that allows you to dive into the background and the data of a project. Yeah, and a couple of these persist. The dying today, I think this is the student prize for I did open all of these before. Gathering Cloud should, yeah, Gathering Cloud open. Yeah, that's a generator one too, so it's not going to open. The Gathering Cloud, we do see J.R. Carpenter's work repeatedly in the prize, because they do such beautiful work in electronic poetry, and the combination of the visuals of the sort of historical art and the feel of being almost a museum piece, but in a website that JR is able to achieve with her work is it's always stunning, and it's always linked somehow to sort of the real ecological world, whether it's weather in some of their work, or in this case, you can see, well, there's weather here in terms of thunder and distance, the cloud, but also thinking about these birds specimens that are appearing here, and the different sort of artifacts, tactile artifacts that almost feel like you could reach out and touch them. So again, this is the sort of mixed media work, and interactive and animated work that is very typical of J.R. Carpenter. 2017, we persist with our journalism student and main prize entries. So Lunic 9, the creators and their site still functions, but they have a number of works on their site, and I couldn't find Lunic in my quick search. But their work is still they're still working in the field, and let's see, did this one? This is an Apple app. So the Cartographer's Confession, quite popular. Yeah, so it's not. This is one of those where it was a really well-known work, and worked really well, and we really focused on it for a little while in teaching and talking about new media lit. But again, as an app, if it is not constantly maintained, it can very easily be lost. And I think that one didn't open either. We will have more as we get into the more recent works. 2018, we see the persistence of the journalism student and main prizes. The journalism, yeah, I don't think any of these persisted. But I love that we've got such great visual representations of the works. You can see the variety and the feel and the flavor and the character of the different works, even just in the covers. And we've started to where I know this one's still online, so I can't believe I didn't click here. Where was this? So Dictionary of the Revolution, which is just a wonderful piece. I think if you're not already familiar with this, please do come and play around with it, because this is just it's standout. So this is told around these are actual people's stories that have been used to tell this narrative of the uprising, part of the Arab Spring in Egypt. It was Egypt, and please correct me, Amira, if you're here. But it's all of these stories, all of these voices about what happened uh, after the revolution in that part of the world, and just beautiful writing. And this interactive story map is something that you just keep returning to, and it's associative. So you click on words, and then you have more words here that are associated with that particular element based on the story. And so you just kind of you can see how stories and words become a network. And it's so reflective of that time, because as we look back at it, Arab Spring was so driven by technological communication, and enabled, I wouldn't say driven, enabled and afforded by people being able to communicate with one another through technological means, through Twitter and through social media and through websites. And so I think that networked capability is something that really adds to the meaning and reflection of this piece. And there's a reason that it's on so many course syllabi as a result, because it's just very rich and deep. Also, bilingual in that it is available both in Arabic and English, so highly accessible. In 2019, what do we have here? Okay, so I don't remember the Dot Award. What was the Dot Award, Jim?
Yeah, for a couple of years, Chris Meade, who was one of our key supporters and sponsors, created the Dot Award in honor of his mum. And the idea for that award was that Chris gave an amount of money to somebody to develop a piece. So people had to submit a proposal for a piece, and the winner then got funding from the Dot fund to make the piece, on the condition that the following year they came back and showed us what they'd done.
Brilliant.
So I'm not sure why there's not a cover for that one. I
I'm
can't
not sure. Let's see if
quite
maybe
recall.
because it was a Twitter
Yeah, it might have
magazine.
been a presentation.
So yeah, so it may not have. I think at the time we were still making the covers as opposed to the
Yeah,
creators submitting. So maybe we, because
yeah,
of that cycle, didn't have one.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Maybe not. I can't remember. But anyway,
Great. Well, sorry, Jim, you muted yourself.
Yeah, we did that for 2 or 3 years, I think, while Chris had a bit of spare cash.
Excellent.
He was very generous.
I love hearing about that. That may be something that we can think about for another category in the future if we somehow wake up swimming in a swimming pool full of money.
Yeah.
So wonderful. So Made in Prison was our journalism winner, and we do get to see that one here in a sec. And the I love the Life of Grand Duchess Elizabeth from Maria Ivanova was the main prize winner. And obviously, we have the Dot Award from the Modern Poetry and Translation, which is still here. And apologies because I do not have um, Twitter, so you're gonna have this band down at the bottom. There we go. These are the we don't see the posts, but apparently it had its heyday back in the day, 12.9 thousand posts. But like many people, when Twitter became this, they may have taken down all their posts as a protest. Um, Made in Prison was a journalism work, is a journalism work. And we do see a lot of these that surround human rights violations, violence, effects of war. And they're very, very, very effective. And it's as journalism tools like these scrolling tools and interactivity and parallel sites that use parallels. We have seen some of the journalism become far more sort of standardized and kind of generic. But at the time, we can see how this mixed media and the scrolling effect and imagery, and there'll be sometimes we have interviews and elements of footage and maps, interactive maps. So this is a lovely piece, sort of in the not necessarily the early days of interactive journalism, but really making good use of the medium, which a lot of this has become very standard for these journalism long pieces now. 2020 was the main prize entry winner was Dan Het with See You Later. And we do where we can. We have introduced having videos and we link these Dini Gregar when they're on Vimeo like this. We're kind of linking into the Next and their archival work with new media and electronic literature. So this is sort of part of our partnership in trying to make sure that work is connected, that it persists, that we have signs of it, and that we are pointing people to be able to review the traversals of a work, even if that work no longer is available. So these are archives. See You Later persists, and it's still one that I assign quite frequently as reading when I teach, because of its sort of beautiful simplicity. This is a work that was created in Twine. You can see it's not fancy, and it is hosted on itch.io, which is a great host for a lot of these works. Um, and it is a pretty straightforward Twine piece, just it's text, but the writing is spectacular, and the story is spectacular, and it really makes beautiful use of the simple hypertext form of Twine for its storytelling. And this is something I like to show to people new to new media writing, because it shows that you don't have to be sort of technologically advanced. You don't have to do these amazing technological things to have really effective emotional, interactive narrative storytelling. And this was the journalism piece from that year. About an oil spill and its effects on the environment. I'll find the next here in a minute. So you get the mixed medium of YouTube and videos and that sort of coverage, but as well as text, imagery, these sorts of things. So um, just some really good use of production here and things that persist. 2021, I do love this piece, Neurocracy, which is still up and available. It is a game that you can play again on itch.io, but it also has a sort of a, a wiki. And that is the point of this game is that this is set in a future and it has its own Wikipedia. And your task as the reader is to interact and figure out who done it, essentially. So you have an app that you can purchase. You can look at the Omnipedia, which I'm hoping is a web app. Yes, web app. And so that some Zoom apparatus, so that you can kind of, I don't know why it's fuzzy. I think this is part of the gameplay. But it's solving a little mystery. So you've got different episodes, and sort of being able to play a mystery across a Wikipedia like interface. And this was a really fun piece, and we've even got an interview with Johan on the site that we were able to do that year. Sometimes I fall down on doing things like that, but that year we managed it. And so that's a fantastic piece. This was a banner year because we also have At Nightfall, the Goldfish from Melody Moo. And this is a real, it's already see how beautiful this piece is. I can't even fathom the technical skill here where I've just said you don't have to have technical skill to have beautiful work, and then I'm going to show you a really a work that really does have some beautiful technological skills in it. So this is a bit of poetry, a bit of interactive haptic gestural storytelling. There's this sort of very atmospheric background that reacts to the cursor and where the cursor goes, and you reveal the story a bit as you swim around in this background. A really beautiful piece, and again, one that is used very frequently in uh, many syllabi. And this, I believe this was the which winner was this? This was the opening up prize. So this year this was perhaps the first year that Wonderbox sponsored the opening up prize, which is the new name for the People's Choice Award. So every year you can go for and see the full long listed list of works, play them, and vote on your favorite. And so this year, this is the one that won. And again, we see twine is quite a popular medium, and this one was the winner. And so we have some lovely storytelling here, told through this sort of twine hypertext medium. 2022, again, a wonderful year. I do love Anonymous Animal from Everest Pipkin. We'll get a look at that here in a minute. And Stalag 352 was also, and Maria Ivanova appears again in the winner's circle. And Penrose Station, which we'll get to see in a minute. And well, I'm not sure if the opening up prize made it to this particular shortlist. There was a winner of the because we've had opening up prize every year since, but maybe we didn't make it on that page. We'll have a look at that. So this is an anonymous animal, just a sort of wonderful use of illustrations and animation and different interactivity that happens in this piece. It's one that you sit with for a little while, and sort of see how it progresses. So we don't have a ton of time to dig into it, but just a very atmospheric piece, sort of more poetic than narrative. This is Stalag 352. This is where we start to see journalism is a bit more on the iDocumentary side, and this is just a really in-depth, highly developed iDocumentary. a historical
22 июня
view of
1941 года
this
стояла
particular
ясная и теплая погода.
camp.
Солнце светило ярко, на небе не облачко. Город готовился к празднику. В обед должны были торжественно открыть новое водохранилище – Комсомольское озеро. Мы собрались с парнями из окрестных домов.
So I recommend that one. So this camp, Stalag, and you have interactions where you can have a look at different bits of the story, bits of the history in many different types of media and presentation. Just a really great piece. And Penrose Station, which won the student award this for that year. Is it gonna? No, it's a scrolly. You figure out how to sort of play these things after a little while, whether you click or you scroll or what you do. So you get this interaction of video, image, text. It looks like there's a bit of scroll. Maybe it's a interactive drama is what it looks like. Yeah, interactive media at USC. Highly recommend reviewing this. I'm not sure where you sort of jump in. And working into maybe VR. So that is still there. It persists. 2023, and we are sort of set in our current format now in 2023, where we have the social good prize. Muscled Out is very beautiful. It requires a password here's the password. Yay me. I didn't know what it was when I opened it to begin with. This is a really beautiful work, and I think this was the first winner of the Social Good Prize. Don't worry about my login. And it's a sort of ecological piece focused on mussels, and it's just I hope it's gonna play. Yeah, there we go. My computer is ancient, elderly, and so it can be a little slow sometimes. Turn the volume off, but so we see some of the art and the text that work their way together in this piece, and this ecological look into what's happening in marine life through storytelling because of climate change and that sort of thing. So really getting to the emotion of the reader through this sort of interactive text to make these things hit home a little bit more deeply. And that's the point of the social good category, the social good aim is to change people's opinions, to educate people, to make them feel like they need to do something about some of the very thorny problems that we are facing in the world. So I highly recommend this one. And because you do have the password right there, dig into it. And the Polterkicks, did we get a Polterkicks? I Dream of Something Lost is, I believe, the main prize winner. Yes, was the Chris Meade main prize winner for that year. And it's again in Unity. So we do see a number of games sort of start to develop here. I'm terrible at doing these sorts of things. So this is again one of those about an experience, about a very human experience of crossing borders and the culture that you leave behind, the family that you leave behind, the sense of self and identity. And so as you dig in, you get to see the elements of this through the interactivity. And then Polterkicks was the student winner. A short story about a ghost with with legs and a third one with an entire two ghosts with legs and a third one with an entire body. So some fun artwork here. really well integrated. This is sort of a throwback to the 8-bit nostalgia of early video games. We see a lot of people like to play with this, and they often are quite fun. And we see the scrolling game here, where I'm clearly a ghost with legs, and I'm scrolling through this environment. So a really lovely piece created here. We're almost there, folks. So 2024, and this would have been last year. So our winners, the main prize winner was Latex Leather Lipstick Love Lust from Stanley Baxton, who is, as you saw, one of our judges this year. Last two lines was shortlisted for the main prize, won the social good prize, I believe. And as well as Cecil Wilde's You Have Created a Monster won the student prize. So you can see all of those shortlists here. And then the opening up prize winner was Breaking the Nets, an oral history of India's fisherwomen. So we and the journalism prize was split between two, or sorry, it was not split. That was the opening up prize winner. And the journalism prize went to Gazaliv's Resisting Cultural Genocide, which unfortunately is still highly relevant. So this is last two lines, which won for the social good prize, an AI powered platform revolutionizing poetry campaigning. So we did a little bit in the Unconference of user contributions to works and pieces. And so this is in that vein of where the user, the reader, the participant throws in their contribution, and it's collaborative, and it comes to effect for the particular work. So you can write some lines that contribute. It's still live. You can still do stuff. You can read the full poem. You can see all the bits. So there you see the contributions and elements where we get this collaborative work, which is something that can be very powerful. Fair warning, I've already skipped past the screen on Latex Leather Lipstick Love Lust, or septuple L, where I tell it that I am 18 and I am old enough to read this work. But it does have that particular caveat to it that it is a mature work. But it was just sort of beloved by the judges. A really highly effective work, really well put together, well designed, as you can see. And but still one of those that is conveying personal identity and the difficulty of feeling like an outsider, and to an extent an outsider in your own body. And we do see this is a very frequent genre in interactive narrative and in narrative in general, which is trying to make sense of the self in a world where you've got lots of media coming at you, you've got lots of culture coming at you, and it's hard to navigate the self in the world. Highly recommend this piece. I'm not going to go too far into it because of the maturity warnings, but please check it out if that's your thing. The student prize winner for You Have Created a Monster. Again, this is another Twine piece. And so exploring, and again, one where the storytelling makes it. And this is the basic Twine interface. So it's not about being technologically magical. It's about using the medium for a very good effect on the story, and to develop meaning and interactivity and choice for the reader, and to sort of start to develop this. So it gets deeper and deeper into what is the monster, and who is the monster, and what is the effect of the monster, and do we fear it? Do we embrace it? Again, something around identity and self. It's a pretty good theme. Breaking the Nets, one of these, again, a beautifully produced um, documentary slash journalism piece. So you've got several pieces and bits put together here with different elements telling these women's story in the world as it has come to be, and in terms of culture and gender inequality, climate change, political issues, lots of different aspects that affect this one community. Gaza Lives. We do see a number of submissions from Continentalists, as well as a couple of other production groups in journalism. And as you can see, this is a really well-produced piece, really making use of the medium of the digital and the hyperactive, hyperlinked hypertext, and the different elements that you can include and build a networked piece into to really pull all the bits together into an effective story. And that is the end of our it wasn't very whirlwind. Apologies. I am long-winded. Yes, I am going to announce the winners. This is our format so that we can sort of get some more awareness and history on New Media Writing Prize and the rest. So thank you for being patient with our history of the New Media Writing Prize. It isn't very often that I get to explore the archive. And I hope that, but I am hearing that people do use it to teach and introduce people to new media writing, electronic literature, interactive narrative. And so one of the tasks that I've added to my list after feedback from the town hall today is to work to enhance that archive a little bit for searchability, maybe fix some broken links where we can, that sort of thing, to be very useful to you all in what you're doing in the field in general. So without further ado, I will return to the winner's PowerPoint as soon as I can find my buttons. Okay. So we are sharing, and we should be back to our not a keynote at all slide. And we will move into now the announcement of the various prizes for 2025. We will start with being able to click the slides. Excellent. We will start with the nominees for the 2025 Student Prize, which is sponsored by Writing Magazine. I'm just going to move a little apparatus so I can still see my notes. So the nominees are The Last Message from, and apologies when I butcher everyone's names. I am very sorry. Maybe I need to have everyone submit pronunciation guides for their names. Feel free to butcher mine in return. From Nikhil Chowdhury. This is a digital native interactive narrative told through chats, notifications, and archives, exploring surveillance, memory, and online identity through reader choice. And all of these, again, are on our shortlisted page on the website if anyone wants to peruse and look at the actual works themselves. Second nominee is Today I Will Fly from Selma V. Fillingsness. A raw and emotionally charged twine narrative. Again, we will see a lot of twine, combining poetry, prose, and personal artwork that explores mental health, capitalism, and the final day of a troubled protagonist. Third is Once Upon a Murder from Miriam Cooley, and I do know this work quite well. A charming interactive fairy tale murder mystery. So we're just combining all the genres, inviting readers to explore clues, uncover hidden content, and choose their own suspect in the student category. We also see how 3 years of war have ravaged Ukraine's forests, and the people who depend on them from Chad Small and Clayton Aldern. This is a journalism piece, a visually sophisticated, interactive piece using maps and data visualization that is revealing some devastating environmental impact of Russia's war on Ukraine, on their forests and communities. So we all know war is highly destructive. This one highlights both the communities and their environment in which which may not be recoverable in any amount of time. Within and Against / Against and Within from Mehul Kumar Desai. And this is an algorithmically generated bilingual poetry work that presents a dialogue between Gujarati and English, Gujarati, the language, and English through contrast, tension, and repetition. Those are our nominees for the student prize category. And we do have honorable mention from the judges, which is How 3 Years of War Have Ravaged Ukraine's Forests and the People Who Depend on Them. The judges praised this work's clear writing, its sophisticated data visualizations, and thoughtful use of interactivity to convey scale, geography, and environmental devastation. They called this an impressive and important piece and noted that it was made all the more remarkable that this is a student piece of work. So congratulations for the honorable mention here to Chad Small and Clayton Aldern for How 3 Years of War Have Ravaged Ukraine's Forests and the People Who Depend upon Them. And the winner of the Writing Magazine Student Prize, the award for the best student work in the New Media Writing Prize, is Today I Will Fly by Selma V. Fillingsness. The judges note that it has very strong writing and an effective integration of interactive and visual elements, recognizing the work's emotional honesty and willingness to tackle difficult themes through personal and expressive storytelling. I don't know if Selma is here. Selma, are you here? You are. I see an oh my gosh, thank you in the comments. You are welcome. I can stop sharing if you can tell me yes or no in the comments if you'd like to say a word or two. Or you can put your comments in the comments and I will happily read them aloud. I'm aware that being recorded and no, we do not tell our winners in advance, so sometimes they get overwhelmed. Do you want to say anything, Selma? Type something out. Okay. Type something out. I'm happy for you to put something in the comments and I will happily read them out once it appears in the comments. So we'll have a moment where we get Selma's note. I'm gonna push forward into the 2025 Opening Up Prize nominees, and I will read out Selma's comments when and if she puts them in the chat. So congratulations to Selma on winning the student prize. The finalists in the Opening Up Prize, and remember, this is the category in which the public voted. So no judges contributed here, although we may have some comments from judges occasionally when there's overlap with the different categories. But for the most part, this is just pure what was popular with the people in this category. So the first nominee finalist is Plague Season, Plagues Past and Future from Caitlin McDonald, Wendy Schultz, Peter Humphrey, Simone Lewis, James Stevens, and Victoria Ward. This is a participatory speculative storytelling project using workshops, sound pieces, and multimedia fiction to reflect on pandemics, futures, and collective resilience. And I think this is a good topic as we're in the midst of discussion about hantavirus and it's, as diseases emerge thanks to disruption due to climate change. So a really nice piece here. The next finalist in this category is UVB76, and this is a creator name that I really wasn't sure how to pronounce, but I'm going to preview. Pow Ow, I'm hoping, but I'm not sure. This is an experimental work of electronic literature that transforms poetry into a distorted transmission, exploring noise, interference, and the fragility of digital communication. Um, so that's UVB 76. The next finalist is Achalugo, I Will Marry You, from Maria Oluwabukola. My apologies, Oni. This is a multimedial personal essay combining video, comics, and interactive elements to explore feminism, identity, and lived experience in contemporary Nigeria. So that is one of our finalists for the Opening Up Award. 360 VR, World Champions in the Shadows, from Marina Malad and Mohammed Hisham. This is an immersive 360-degree VR documentary following Egypt's homeless street football champions through spatial storytelling and empathetic interactive journalism. 360 video is becoming quite a popular area for interactive storytelling. So, and this is a good example of that. Our next finalist is Curl from Halim Madi. This is a very tactile, beautifully tactile, interactive memoir using strands of hair as navigation through a poetic, non-linear story of identity, masculinity, and self-expression. The next finalist is A Year Measured in Walks from Kavya Benara. And I love this tagline, some stories are not meant to be rushed. I like that. I love the quiet ones where they're kind of meditative. This is a quiet, interactive nonfiction work using pacing, pauses, and minimalist design to reflect experiences of grief, care, and healing. And the last finalist in this category is To Click or Not to Click from Shanmugapriya T, Simran Bimjani, K. Kavita, Gayatri T, and Mehul Kumar Desai. This is a collection of twine-based interactive stories reimagining Hamlet's moral dilemmas through contemporary Indian and non-human perspectives. So it looks like we've got some nice artwork there as well. All right. The honorable mention in this category, so this would have been the runner-up in the voting, is 360 VR, World Champions in the Shadows, from Marina Malad and Mohammed Hisham. This is the participatory 360-degree environment, so you get to move through the everyday spaces of the team's lives, and you get a powerful sense of presence and connection. When the judges did review this work for other categories, they recognized the work's thoughtful use of VR to amplify marginal voices and deepen emotional engagement. So congratulations to Marina Malad and Mohammed Hisham for 360 VR for the opening up category honorable mention. And the winner of the opening up digital fiction, interactive narrative, new media writing category is UVB 76. This has an admirable inventive concept and it makes a bold attempt to make communication itself unstable and interactive, creating a haunting meditation on noise, technology, and fractured connection. I don't know if the creator is here and if I've terribly butchered your name. But feel free to unmute or wave a hand or throw a comment into the comments section, and I will happily cede the floor to you if you are here. No? All right. We'll be in contact. Winners who weren't able to be here, we will be in contact afterwards to make sure that they get their prizes. So don't worry, you didn't have to be here to win. The next category in the New Media Writing Prize is the interactive digital narrative for social good. So again, a huge thank you to Unconference participants and attendees for this and contributors because you fund this particular category. You contribute to the prize for social good, for works that are attempting to make change, positive change in the world. So the first nominee in this category is Redlined from Nanette Wild. This is a minimalist interactive poetic work animating censored language to reflect on political suppression, exclusion, and contemporary social discourse. The next nominee is, I cannot read the main title, but Unwanted Listening, a Proof of Concept from Anna Nacher. This is an experimental digital work exploring trauma, migration, and transgenerational memory through the politics and psychology of listening. The next nominee in this category is Jason Nelson's Diver Quilt Magnet. This is a chaotic, as in keeping with Jason Nelson's general work, and colorful creature generator that explores extinction, digital consumption, and endless cycles of creation and destruction. So this notion that we are forever in a consumer society, everything must become obsolete and we just throw it away. Everything's disposable, right? So that exploration there is an important element of social good. The next nominee is Don't Get Your Hopes Up from Krish Raghav. This is an inventive, interactive visual novel blending autobiography, documentary, and social commentary to explore Amsterdam's housing crisis through unsettling shifts in style, tone, and form. I think housing and urbanization and where people live and refugees and all of the rest of this, as well as the increasing cost of living in city centers is certainly going to become a common theme as we progress through the 21st century. We also see Halim Mahdi's Curl here, this which falls into the social good category, thinking about identity, masculinity, and self-expression. We talked a little bit about masculinity earlier in the Unconference and representations online and different types of pipelines online. And so addressing this through particular inventive and interactive work is a way to counteract those sorts of narratives. The next nominee is Under the Same Sky from Hadil Arja, Khalil Ashawi, and Sami Al-Sultan. This is a powerful 360-degree VR. This is our second one. Documentary placing viewers inside wartime Gaza through immersive journalism, spatial storytelling, and deeply human testimony. Next nominee in the social good category is Fake Gamers, Real Workers from Rory Gillen. This is an interactive digital essay examining hidden labor and faux automation through CAPTCHA, and that's the CAPTCHA bit that you have to do to prove that you're not a robot, as we see there in the cover image. So CAPTCHA inspired interruptions and investigative storytelling. And the final nominee in this category is How 3 Years of War Have Ravaged Ukraine's Forests and the People Who Depend on Them from Chad Small and Clayton Aldern, which we saw as a nominee in the previous student category as well. So this is the piece that explores the destructive effect of war, not only on the communities in Ukraine, but also on their forests. So we have 2 honorable mentions in this category that the judges wanted to highlight. And the first honorable mention for the Social Good Prize is Don't Get Your Hopes Up from Krish Raghav. The judges note that this transforms the visual novel form into something unsettling and playful and politically charged, that there's polished interactivity, layered visual storytelling, sharp social commentary, and it all explores the emotional realities of housing precarity. In particular, they praised its originality, inventive structure, and ability to deliver a serious social message through an absorbing and memorable interactive experience. So congrats to Krish Raghav for the honorable mention for Don't Get Your Hopes Up. And the second honorable mention in this category of social good is Under the Same Sky from Hadil Arja, Khalil Ashawi, and Sami Al-Sultan. This is a vital and deeply affecting immersive documentary using that 360-degree VR that places the audience inside the war in Gaza. The judges in particular wanted to point out its exceptional integration of interactive design and storytelling, from its intimate environments to its inventive use of spatial overlays and sound. Harrowing, humane, and technically accomplished, it stands as a powerful example of immersive journalism in service of witness and empathy. And the winner in the category of social good, dun, 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 is How 3 Years of War Have Ravaged Ukraine's Forests and the People Who Depend Upon Them, from Chad Small and Clayton Aldern. This is, as we've noted in previous categories, where it received an honorable mention in the student prize, a very powerful interactive work shining a light on this overlooked humanitarian and ecological crisis. The judges praised its polished interactivity, illuminating data visualizations, and urgent relevance, recognizing it as an outstanding example of journalism using the digital form to deepen understanding and expand public awareness of this issue. I don't know if Chad or Clayton are here and would like to say anything or offer comment. Doesn't look like it, but congratulations to Chad Small and Clayton Aldern for your win in the social good category. Next, we have our newest category in the New Media Writing Prize. We have seen in the last few years the emergence of a strong community in India working in new media writing and electronic literature. And so we have an anonymous donor who has sponsored this particular prize for new media works that in particular engage with India as a place, as a culture, as different storytelling traditions. And so what you will see here are the key nominees in this category. The first is Lost Water Remainscape from Shanmugapriya T. This is a bilingual digital literary project combining poetry, animation, archives, and interactive media to explore water scarcity in South India. So the subtitle there is a story of, I can't read it through the rain, Kangunadu water bodies. So that is Lost Water Remainscape. The next nominee in this category is Parallel Lives, A Day in 7 Realities from Rakshitha R. This is an interactive documentary-style narrative following 7 interconnected lives across the world through reflective, non-linear storytelling using a simple and effective interactive structure. The next nominee in this category is Are You There? Kyatum Ho Waha. And again, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that in any way accurately. From Prakruti Bhatt and Dina Larson. This is a collaborative hypertext narrative exploring AI, spirituality, and cultural identity through an interactive encounter with a chatbot claiming to be the god Krishna. So that is Are You There? Kya Tum Hoa. The next nominee in this category is The Last Message from Nikhil Chowdhury. This is, as we noted in the previous category, this is the digital native interactive narrative that uses chats, notifications, and archives. So thinking about memory and online identity as well as surveillance. The next nominee in this category, as we've seen before, A Year Measured in Walks from Kavya Benara. This quiet, minimalist piece thinking about grief, care, and healing. The next nominee is Within and Against and Within from Mahil Kumar Desai, as we've seen in previous categories. This bilingual poetry work that is algorithmically generated, looking at dialogue between the language Gujarati and English, thinking about tension and repetition. And the final nominee in this category is To Click or Not to Click from Shanmugapriya T, Simran Bhimjani, K. Kavitha, Gayatri T, and Mahil Kumar Desai. This again is a collection of twine stories examining Hamlet's moral dilemmas through the lens of contemporary Indian and non-human perspectives. The honorable mention in this category from the judges is Are You There? Kya Tum Ho Waha from Prakruti Bhatt and Dina Larson. The judges wanted to point out that from the first screen, readers choose which lens to apply, thinking this is a deceptively simple choice, slowly stopping making sense as the story deepens. It raises questions that are not resolved tidily. I'll just read the statement, shall I? It follows this twine-based hypertext narrative follows Sakhi, a young urban Indian woman torn between family duty and her passion for digital storytelling, who begins a conversation with an online assistant that may be an AI or may be the reincarnation of Lord Krishna. From the first screen, readers choose which lens to apply, a deceptively simple choice that slowly stops making sense as the story deepens, and that dissolution is the point. The prose links, shifting narrative voices, and imagery that move with the reader's choices all pull in the same direction. No prior knowledge of hypertext fiction is needed to enter the story, and there's more in it the longer you stay. It draws on the mythologies of Krishna and Radha, the resonance of the word Sakhi, and the pressures of contemporary urban Indian life, and doesn't try to settle any of them. The questions it raises doesn't resolve tidily, and we feel that the irresolution was earned. So the judges are more than pleased to award Are You There? Kya Tum Ho Waha, an honorable mention in the Indian category of the New Media Writing Prize. Congratulations to Prakruti Bhatt and Dina Larson. Dina or Prakruti, do you want to say anything? I see a little comment there from Dina. I will read your I know you're running out of spoons, Dina. Says, hooray, thank you. We wanted to explore modern dilemmas in India. And says thank you to the New Media Writing Prize and Prakruti's unfailing dedication in writing this. So congratulations to the both of you for the honorable mention. And the winner in the Indian Prize category of the New Media Writing Prize, and actually, we have two winners in this prize. The judges could not decide between the two, so they decided to award both. So we have two winners this year. The first is A Year Measured in Walks from Kavya Benata, and the other winner, it's a tie, is Lost Water Remainscape from Shanmugapriya T. And the judges' comments on A Year Measured in Walks is this is a nonfiction digital story told in 4 walks across 1 year. The arrival of a foster dog, a life slowly built together, the approach of loss, and grief's quiet aftermath. Built in Figma, it uses scroll pacing, white space, and deliberate pauses, one of which requires the reader to physically hold a button before continuing. The interactivity is structural rather than decorative. Readers control not the plot, but their own pace of feeling through it, and a printed page simply cannot offer that. The story needs no technical knowledge to enter, no specialist frame to make sense of, and the emotional territory is one almost anyone can recognize. The writing is spare and precise, it finds the particular without losing the general, and it stays with you. The judges' comments on Lost Water Remainscape are that this piece works on an entirely different scale and earns it. The project mourns the vanishing waterscapes of Coimbatore, South India, drawing on colonial-era maps, Tamil poetry, bilingual narrative in Tamil and English, oral testimonies from farmers and village elders, field photography, and 3D animated reconstructions of ancient water engineering. The form is never decorative. Each of its 4 sections, introduction, tank, river, and photo animation, uses a distinct interactive approach, and every one of those choices serves the subject directly. Hidden text uncovered beneath animated foliage, poetry unlocked through game-like interactions with natural objects, and floating bubbles clicked to reveal images of dying water bodies. Tamil aesthetics, Karakala Chola period water engineering, and living oral memory are what this project is made of. It speaks to urgent global concerns through knowledge that belongs to this place and no other, and that combination is what makes it land. So congratulations to both Kavya Banata and Shanmugapriya T. If you're here and you would like to say something, I am happy to turn the floor over to you or to read a comment in the chat. All right. That's perfectly all right. I do see that we have a comment now from Selma, who won the student prize category. And her winner's speech, as it were, is I never expected today I will fly to move people the way it did. It was made as a deeply personal work. But when I was encouraged by one of my lecturers, I thought, why not submit it to the New Media Writing Prize? And I'm glad I did. I wanted to touch upon mental health and the bad parts of self-isolation. It's a love letter to a person I lost in my life to suicide. We need to be more open with each other and refuse the hyper-individualistic mindset of needing to suffer in silence. My work was made as an antithesis to being silent. I'm very happy my work was able to extend a hand to others. Thank you so much for that, Selma. I see a comment from Kavya, the author of A Year Measured in Walks, is that she's so grateful for this. Thank you to Kavya. And from Prakriti, thank you so much, judges, for the honor. No, this isn't. Oh, yes, for the honorable mention. So this is Prakriti from the honorable mention for Are You There, Kiatum Ho Waha. She says, thank you so much for the honorable mention. It means a lot. Thank you so much, Dina, for her creative input, support, and for the entire creative journey. It wouldn't have been possible without you. Thank you, New Media Writing Prize, and thank you, everyone. And thank you to Prakriti. So congratulations, everyone, in the very first Indian New Media Writing Prize category of the New Media Writing Prize. And thank you to our judges for such thorough comments and consideration of all of the nominated entries, or of all of the entries, full stop. Finally, the ultimate of the New Media Writing Prize, the Chris Meade Memorial Main Prize nominees. And again, as we've noted, Chris Meade has supported the New Media Writing Prize from its very first instantiation through his unfortunate passing and his continued support of the main prize even afterward. So our continual thanks to Chris and to Hattie for their support of this worldwide prize. The nominees in this category are Once Upon a Murder from Miriam Cooley, which the judges note as a charming and inventive concept with interesting writing and playful investigation mechanics, beautifully presented with a strong sense of personality. The next nominee, How 3 Years of War Have Ravaged Ukraine's Forests and the People Who Depend on Them, from Chad Small and Clayton Aldern. And we've heard multiple times now how effective this piece is, how necessary it is, and how the interactive journalism is used to great effect to bring attention to the effects of war on these communities and forests. Curl from Halim Madi is our next nominee. Again, this story told through strands of hair, thinking about identity, masculinity, and self-expression. The next nominee is Diver Quilt Magnet from Jason Nelson, this little character generator exploring digital consumption, noting that it's wildly inventive and darkly playful in its execution, has rich visual imagination and generative creativity, and is a compelling environmental metaphor beneath the humor and absurdity. The next nominee is Don't Get Your Hopes Up from Chris Grav. And this is a piece we've seen nominated in other categories. This autobiography, documentary, and social commentary on Amsterdam's housing crisis, with lovely, inventive interactivity that constantly surprises the reader, strong use of visuals and changing formats to deepen the narrative, and an important social message delivered through the experience. The next nominee in the main prize category is Under the Same Sky from Hadil Arja, Khalil Ashawi, and Sami Asultan. Again, this wonderful 360-degree VR documentary that places viewers inside wartime Gaza, which is continuing to be a issue that we need to draw attention to. The next nominee is Grief Found Me from Omayeli Arenyeka, a non-linear, we haven't seen this in previous categories. This is a non-linear digital poem unfolding through a fragmented folder system, which you can see here in the cover image, where readers piece together memories and encounters with grief. Grief seems to be a common theme this year. It's been a tough year, I think, for folks. But I also think it's, as Selma noted, it's important to talk about these things. So I'm glad to see so many wonderful pieces dealing with it. The next nominated piece in the main prize category is At the Guggenheim from Alan Bigelow. Alan Bigelow is a common creator in the New Media Writing Prize, and this year is no different. This is an experimental digital narrative using AI-generated animated artworks to transform museum paintings into a hypnotic visual storytelling experience. It's visually striking and has inventive use of animated imagery, an immersive atmosphere that lingers, and an intriguing exploration of how images and animation can function as narrative text. The next nomination in the main prize category shows how prolific this particular author is and can be, because he was nominated twice in this category by the judges. So AI, A Love Story from Alan Bigelow is an interactive social media inspired narrative exploring loneliness, identity, and humanity's evolving relationship with artificial intelligence. This has a strong storyline paired with effective interactivity, thoughtful engagement with contemporary AI culture, and is very fully realized and a lovely cohesive narrative. The next and final nominee in this category, the Chris Meade Memorial Main Prize, is Chris Joseph's Flesh and Blood. This is a surreal, interactive, psychological fiction blending text, sound, animation, and puzzles to explore memory, loss, and bodily fragmentation. It has a strong atmospheric design combining visuals, sound, and typography, ambitious nonlinear structure, encouraging exploration, and thoughtfully explores accessibility features and adaptable reading modes, which is becoming more and more important in new media writing as we recognize that not everyone has the same technology, access, or physical or mental capabilities as everyone else. So the honorable mentions in this category, we have 3 honorable mentions here. So bear with me, and I hope these creators are here so that we can congratulate them virtually in person. The first honorable mention in the main prize category is Grief Found Me from Omayeli Arenyeka. So the judges in particular praised this digital trace work on meditation on grief. They praised its emotionally engaging writing, meaningful nonlinearity, and creative interactive structure. They recognize this work transforms fragmented navigation into a powerful reflection of memory and loss. So congratulations to Omayeli Arenyeka for honorable mention in the main prize category for your Grief Found Me. And everyone in this category, if in the honorable mentions and winner, if you want to throw something into the comments, I'm happy to read them, or you can let me know that you'd like to say something. The next honorable mention in the main prize category is how 3 years of war have ravaged Ukraine's forests and the people who depend on them, from Chad Small and Clayton Aldern. I think you can tell the judges were really bowled over by this piece, and couldn't get away from it, and how effective it is, just in the devastation that is being wreaked across Ukraine's communities. So I think having this honorable mention as well as the win in the other category, and this from students as well, is just such a statement from the judges on how important this work is. So congratulations to Chad Small and Clayton on the honorable mention. The third and final honorable mention in the main prize category for this year's New Media Writing Prize is Curl from Halim Madi. And the judges in particular want to call out this piece of work, this work that uses strands of hair to think about identity and masculinity and gender. They praise its inventive interface, meaningful interactivity, and richly layered storytelling, describing it as a work they wanted to return to explore again and again. So repeatability is always something that we look for in these sorts of works, and you've achieved it here. So congrats to Halim Madi for your honorable mention on Curl in the Chris Meade Memorial Main Prize category. If I had a drum, I'd beat it. We are now down to the winner of the 2025 New Media Writing Prize, main prize category, the whole shebang, top of the top. The winner is Under the Same Sky from Hadil Arja and Khalil Ashawi. So this is just a breathtaking achievement in immersive storytelling, extraordinary use of the 360-degree VR, intimate, emotionally charged, using the space, using the movement to deepen the experience of survival, resilience, and loss. The judges praised its technical sophistication, restrained narration, and profound emotional impact, recognizing it as a brilliant, necessary, and unforgettable work of new media writing. So, massive congratulations to Hadil Arja and Khalil Ashawi for Under the Same Sky, winning the main prize in this year's New Media Writing Prize, the Chris Meade Memorial Prize. Congratulations to all of our winners, all of our honorable mentions, all of our nominees, and everyone who entered into the New Media Writing Prize. We hope you will return and submit again next year. I want to thank again all of our wonderful sponsors and contributors, the British Library, Dreaming Methods and One-to-One Development Trust, Chris Meade's If Book, the Writing Magazine, who sponsors the Student Prize, Dina Larson, Wonderbox Digital for the opening up category. And anyone who wants to sponsor anything can always contact us. And as always, we thank Chris Meade for everything that he contributed and continues to contribute to the prize. And a warm hug to Jim Pope for creating the prize to begin with. And continuing to support the prize. So congratulations to everyone. Yay. I will stop sharing now because it's a lot of PowerPoint for everyone. So thank you to everyone. Congratulations. It's just wonderful to see these every year. And I hope that you will continue to submit every year, because I do at least get to somewhat glance through everything as I peruse all of the entries for the judges. So congratulations. Thank you for coming. Thanks to all of the unconferencers, all of our sponsors, everyone. This is our labor of love, and congrats and welcome. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I release you into the world to create more chaos.
Thank you, Lyle.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
See you next year, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.